Hello, I'm Andrew Norman, just going to show you a comparison between two metal-ended anglos. Both have bone buttons, both have steel reeds. This one is what you come across quite a lot, 32 key nickel plated ends. It's dull nickel, they're quite shiny, but it's known as dull nickel or cold nickel. That was the method they used at the time. Here the extra button on the end of the 30 key row plays two notes. The same with this one on the right hand side, whereas sometimes you come across those extra buttons being used for whistles and squeaks. Whistles and squeaks were put on just about every maker's concertina, so never heard them used properly or to any advantage, but I'm sure someone will surprise me one day. So what you have here, in this case, both CG, C row running through the middle, bone buttons, nice condition. It had a repad, it's got the original bellows, and generally quite nice condition. I'll just play a tune on the Lachenal. There you have it, standard Lachenal. Like every Lachenal, the action is a piece of bent wire to all intents and purposes, held up with a pivot, which is like a glorified staple. That doesn't give quite as positive action as you would have with a far more expensive Jeffries or something similar like that. However, it's a pretty responsive, bright instrument with the metal ends. Essentially the mechanics are exactly the same as a 20 button or a 30 button with rosewood ends, a quality instrument. Same sort of steel reeds inside. So nice bright sound, obviously not in a Jeffries league, but massively cheaper than a Jeffries would be. And instruments like this, very reliable. I've sold a number to people where they've used them for Morris for year after year or even decades later. This instrument is unique, and I'll tell you what we think we know about it. I've never seen another concertina that's had flat nickel plated ends that have then been engraved and with this black infill, which very similar to niello ware. So in that respect it's unique, and the reeds are Lachenal, but the construction may well have been a one-off or even a quality instrument made at home, but made by somebody who really knew what they were doing. And I suspect they ordered the ends from Lachenal, who cut them to order. The woodwork was made by the maker. The bellows frames are made by the maker, but the bellows would have been made by Lachenal, and the reed pans with the reeds as specified would have been made by Lachenal, but they've been adapted, or they've been made to suit the reeds that this particular person wanted, the particular notes. You've got 36 buttons, bone buttons, just the same as the Lachenal one. The levers, whilst they're very, very similar to the standard Lachenal, but as I say, they've been put in by whoever made the woodwork. Quite often, as I said before, you get whistles and squeaks. Here you get a whistle and a squeak. The squeakers are on the thumb button on the left hand side, and on the right hand side you've got a whistle, but the other buttons there are extra notes. So really you've got 34 plus the whistle and squeaks. The note arrangement on this is very much like an early Lachenal, so it's hard to say when this was made, but I really like it. Maybe that's because we've done lots of work to it. It came in a pretty bad condition. There is a fair bit of wear. We've got a bit of wear on the end plates. It's obviously been well played. It had also been well neglected as well, and so we had to deal with quite a few boring insects woodworm that had made various holes, but it's all very sound now, and it's a nice instrument, and certainly it's unique. The other thing we've done, apart from the putting the pads on and making everything working how it should do, the ends have a felt bushing behind. So whilst it's been quite well constructed, it's the Lachenal here would have been pretty much everything would have been made by machine, drilled probably all the holes simultaneously, whereas here holes have been drilled and they don't all line up, but we've done our best to make it into a nice playing instrument, despite the fact that there is wear and tear and a few knocks to it, but original bellows, papers are good and it's airtight. Again, you've got the C row, G row, and the standard accidentals on the top. Here it goes from a B up to the C, just like the 20 button or early 30 button layout. So certainly the layout is as per early Lachenal. That's the Shrewsbury Waltz. So both quite simple, quite similar, and quite simple. The Lachenal, because they were more mass-produced, will probably have fewer problems long term. On any concertina you can have problems with the change of temperature, humidity and so on. This one, because it's very much a one-off, we've had to deal with a lot of problems to get it to play nicely. But it's unique and it's pretty, so maybe there's a comparison. I think if you ask two people which one they preferred, they'd probably both say different things. I hope that helps. Thank you.